Hello everyone, welcome to NG's Corner for Nurses. Hope all of you are doing well. Today our topic of discussion is chain of infection. In this video we will discuss chain of infection in details along with example. Chain of infection is a model that will guide us to understand the infection process. The chain consists of 6 links and each link of the chain should also be present for the infection to happen. So, breaking down any of the link can slow down the spread of infectious disease. The 6 links of chain of infection are the infectious agent, reservoirs, the portal of exit, the mode of transmission, the portal of entry, and susceptible host. Let's discuss each links in details. Infectious agents, also known as pathogens, are infection-causing microorganisms including bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites. Next is reservoir, where the infectious agent lives, grows, and multiplies. The reservoir may be humans, animals, or something in the environment like water, soil, etc. Next is portal of exit, the path the organism uses to leave the reservoir, and it usually corresponds to where the pathogen is located in the host body. Suppose the pathogen is in person's lungs. So here the portal of exit should be the nose, or the pathogen is located in the intestine. Then here the portal of exit should be the rectum through feces. Okay. Next is mode of transmission, by which an organism transfers from one carrier to another by either direct transmission or indirect transmission. Direct transmission is up close and immediate. Direct contact involves physical contact between the source or reservoir, such as an infected person or animal and a susceptible host. For some diseases, direct contact may involve kissing or other skin to skin contact. For agents in the soil, this could be contact with contaminated soil which can enter through a break in the skin. Direct droplet transmission occurs via respiratory droplets produced by coughing, sneezing, singing, shouting, or even breathing. These droplets travel only a short distance and directly enter the mouth, nose, or eyes of a new potential host. For indirect transmission to occur, the source or reservoir and susceptible host don't need to be near each other, and it does not have to happen immediately. You can think of this as the difference between directly handing your friends a note in person or indirectly leaving a note on a paper and give them to read later. Your friend gets a message from you either way, but one is direct and the other has a little extra step. There are 3 types of indirect transmission and they are categorized by the extra step involved. Indirect airborne transmission can happen through airborne particles. These particles are much smaller than the droplets involved in direct droplet transmission and can stay afloat in the air for a while before falling to the ground. So, with direct droplet transmission, the potential new host is in the direct path of a sneeze or cough, But with indirect airborne transmission, all someone must do is come into the space where airborne particles are floating and breathe them in even after the source has left the area. Measles is an example of a disease spread by indirect airborne transmission. Respiratory particles containing the measles virus exhaled by an infected person can remain suspended in the air and be inhaled by a susceptible person. Severe minutes later leading to infection. Indirect vector-borne transmission uses arthropods such as mosquitoes, ticks or flies to transfer the infectious agent from one host to another. For example, mosquitoes become infected with the malaria parasite from taking a blood meal from an infected person after a period of parasite development. Mosquitoes then spread the agent to the next host through a bite. Next, or a fly can pick up an infectious agent on its feet by walking on a contaminated surface and carrying it to a previously uncontaminated surface, such as uncovered food at a picnic. The third mode of indirect transmission is vehicle-borne. Unlike a vector which is living, a vehicle is a non-living object that can carry an agent from its reservoir to a susceptible host, and this vehicle may be food, water, an inanimate object or surface. Depending on the agent and the vehicle, the agent may continue to grow and multiply between hosts. For example, if a person coughs or sneezes into their hand and then grab a doorknob, the doorknob can become a vehicle to pass the agent to the next person who uses the doorknob, then touches their mouth or nose or rubs their eyes. Vehicle-borne transmission can happen when someone who is infected share a drink or computer, phone or other inanimate object with a friend, or when a food item become contaminated with bacteria such as salmonella. So this is about mode of transmission. Next is portal of entry through where an pathogen enters the host's body. So the portal of entry is how a pathogen enters a susceptible host, providing access to tissues where it can multiply or toxins can act. So many infectious agents use the same entry point to exit the source host and enter a new host. For example, we can say the organism causing gastroenteritis follow a fecal-oral route, leaving through feces, contaminating hands and entering a new host through the mouth via contaminated food, water or utensils. Additionally, the entry portals include skin, mucous membranes, nose, blood. Next is susceptible hosts. A susceptible host is a person or animal who is not immune or resistant to the infectious agent and can contract the disease if exposed. There are some factors that make a person more susceptible to infections, like age. The older adults and children are more vulnerable to get infections. Next, health conditions like immunocompromised persons, patient with altered cellular immune function, or patients having uh, different comorbidities. They are more susceptible to get infections. And unhealthy lifestyle choices like smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, poor diet, this can also make a person to susceptible to infection. And the environment, living in crowded or unsanitary condition may leads to get infections. Understand this further by having a sample. Let's read a story of Amit and Mohan. Amit and Mohan are friends. They are playing together. Amit is not well today. He having influenza. While playing, Amit keeps sneezing and coughing. He even forgot to cover his nose and mouth with handkerchief. But they continue playing. On next day, Mohan had been sneezing and coughing. He is too very sick. Let's find out. Let's use the story of Amit and Mohan to understand the flow of chain of infection. Here, Amit having influenza, and influenza caused by a virus. So here the infectious agent is virus, which is known as influenza virus. The virus lives in the respiratory tract of Amit and it makes Amit as the reservoir. Amit kept on sneezing and coughing while playing and he doesn't cover his nose and mouth. When he sneezes, droplets go out through his nose, and when he cough, droplet goes out from his mouth. So here the portal of exit is nose and mouth. So there is a chance of direct transmission through droplet. So here the mode of transmission is a direct transmission, that is droplet transmission. Next, the virus may enter Mohan's body through his nose and mouth. Here the portal of entry is nose and mouth. Now Mohan is infected with influenza virus. So here the susceptible host is Mohan. If this content is useful for you, then please put a like and share it with others. And for getting more videos like this, you can subscribe my YouTube channel NG's Corner for Nurses. And for any queries or for any suggestions, you are most welcome to comment. Thank you for listening.